I have been sitting here thinking about this team, and honestly, the Deshaun Watson contract situation has officially become the biggest disaster in Cleveland Browns history. Mike Florio just reported that the front office is looking to claw back over $88 million in cap credits due to injury insurance, though conflicting reports suggest the actual savings might be significantly lower. This entire ordeal highlights just how much of a colossal swing and a miss this gamble has been for our franchise. And honestly, the more details come out, the harder it is to ignore what is going on behind the scenes. Smash that like button, subscribe, and drop your name and city in the comments below. Let's get into it. Deshaun Watson finds himself at the center of a firestorm as new reports suggest the Cleveland Browns may finally recoup significant financial losses from his disastrous tenure. Back in 2022, we surrendered a king's ransom, 3 first-round picks, multiple mid-round selections, and a fully guaranteed $230 million contract in hopes of securing an elite quarterback. Instead, we witnessed a series of injuries, suspensions, and abysmal production that led Jimmy Haslam to admit the trade was a massive failure. Mike Florio recently ignited a debate by claiming an insurance provision could return $88 million to the team, though conflicting reports from over the cap suggest the actual relief might be closer to a mere $10 million. What makes this even bigger is the lingering frustration among our loyal fan base, who have watched years of potential success evaporate due to this singular, crippling investment. For those of us who have followed this team for decades, the sight of Watson entering a final season mired in a desperate quarterback competition is a bitter pill to swallow. We feel the weight of what could have been if those resources had been utilized elsewhere. The emotional toll of this saga has been heavy, leaving many of us questioning how the front office could have miscalculated so severely while ignoring the obvious risks at the time of the signing. As we look toward the upcoming season, a massive uncertainty looms over the organization that cannot be ignored. While the front office scrambles to reconcile the books and settle on a starter for the new campaign under Todd Monken, we have to ask ourselves if this financial recovery is actually a reality or just another comforting myth being fed to the public to mask the true extent of the damage done to our championship window. The most startling reality for us fans today is that the front office is essentially betting their own reputations on a complete financial recovery to salvage this disastrous era. While we look at the wreckage of the last 4 years, it is worth remembering that this gamble began with the desperate hope that Watson would mirror his elite 2020 production, yet he only managed 19 games in a Browns uniform before the injury bug struck again. The truth is that behind the closed doors at our facility, head coach Todd Monken and the front office are likely scrambling to justify the massive investment that owner Jimmy Haslam has publicly labeled a swing and a miss. It is a haunting echo of previous Cleveland quarterback failures, only this time the price tag was truly unprecedented in league history. We are talking about 3,365 passing yards over several seasons, a figure that pales in comparison to the $230 million in total guaranteed money that anchor our current salary cap situation. While outlets like Pro Football Talk suggest significant insurance recovery, conflicting reports from experts like Troy Chapman indicate we might only recoup roughly $10 million, leaving the organization in a precarious spot as they navigate this final contract year. Watching our former coach Kevin Stefanski now leading the Atlanta Falcons while we deal with these lingering fiscal constraints is difficult for those of us who have supported this team for decades. We are forced to watch a quarterback competition unfold with little margin for error, knowing full well that the aggressive strategy which defined the 2022 offseason has effectively paralyzed our ability to build a championship roster around a new core of talent. Every dollar saved via insurance is now vital for our future competitive viability. The weight of this financial anchor is finally pulling us toward a critical crossroads, forcing the front office to decide if we are truly rebuilding or simply patching a sinking ship. With the conflicting reports on whether we recoup $10 million or $88 million in cap space, the immediate impact on our roster depth is precarious. We have precious little room to maneuver for veteran talent, meaning our success hinges entirely on the health and performance of the guys currently in the building. Now here's the thing, the uncertainty surrounding this quarterback situation under head coach Todd Monken turns every single snap into a referendum on our future. We are looking at a brutal stretch of games where offensive consistency will be the difference between a winning record and another lost season. If we cannot find stability, the math simply does not support us keeping pace with Zach Taylor and his aggressive Bengals squad. Our standing in the AFC North has slipped significantly, and without a reliable signal caller, our path to the playoffs becomes an uphill climb that borders on impossible. We are essentially betting the house on a final season that feels more like a desperate salvage mission than a championship run. Every dollar saved in cap credits is money that should have been spent years ago on building a sustainable core. Yet here we are, scrambling to fix the foundation while the season is already underway. It is a bitter pill to swallow for those of us who have endured these cycles of disappointment for decades. But the reality is that our ability to challenge the elite teams in this league depends on whether this front office can finally stop chasing sunk costs and start prioritizing the health of this franchise moving forward. The Browns took a gamble on Deshaun Watson because when he is healthy and focused, he possesses elite playmaking skills that can elevate an entire roster to championship contention. We believed his 2020 statistics proved he was the missing piece to take us over the top, offering an upside that few quarterbacks in the league could ever hope to match. Yet, the reality of the situation is far more sobering when you look at the missing draft capital and the staggering financial burden that hindered our ability to build depth elsewhere. Let's be real about the cost of that failure, which left us starved for young talent while he sat on the sidelines during his most critical years. Experts like Mike Florio have not held back, labeling this one of the worst transactions in sports history and around the league. General managers now view our front office approach as a cautionary tale of overextending for a single player. Whether it is the confusion over potential insurance credits or the simple fact that we missed our window, the consensus is that the risk simply failed to yield a reward. Here is where I land on this whole saga. While I understand why the move was made at the time, it is impossible to ignore that we mortgaged our future for a return that never materialized on the field. Watching other teams thrive under different leadership, such as Kevin Stefanski finding success in Atlanta, makes the sting of this lost era feel even sharper for those of us who have followed this franchise for decades. We are left looking for answers in a final season that feels more like a bridge to an uncertain future rather than the glorious conclusion we were all promised back in 2022. This saga serves as a somber reality check for our franchise, signaling a total shift in how we approach roster construction and long-term financial security over these next few seasons. We have seen the risks of mortgaging our future on a single player, and the impact of those lost draft picks will haunt our depth chart for years to come. This is where it gets real, as we must now pivot toward a disciplined, team-focused philosophy under Coach Todd Monken to recover from this massive gamble. You should feel a mix of frustration and cautious optimism heading into this season, knowing we can no longer afford to lean on one superstar. Our strength must now come from collective grit, smart scouting, and a complete move away from the high-stakes errors of the past. While the financial relief from cap credits is debated by experts, the true takeaway is that our front office has learned a harsh, expensive lesson about the value of continuity and prudence. We are entering a new era where we must earn our respect on the field, rather than paying for it on paper. It is time to stabilize the quarterback position and build a culture that prioritizes the health of the entire locker room over flashy headlines. Reflecting on this expensive chapter, do you believe our current roster has enough depth to remain competitive while we navigate this complicated final year of Watson's contract? Let us hear your honest thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Dawg Pound. I'll see you in the next one. Cleveland's future hangs in the balance as we wait for the upcoming season to unfold. Stay tuned for more breaking news, deep analysis, and daily updates on your favorite team.